Hello, I'm Dee Sarton, and welcome to Exploring Idaho. Did you know Idaho is the largest producer of rainbow trout in the United States? And it is big business, bringing in over $70 million to our state's economy every year. So in our first story, we traveled to south central Idaho and the Snake River to show you why this is such a great place to raise fish. Winter snow is a stark contrast to the black lava of eastern Idaho. As the snow melts, it seeps into the porous lava and forms a huge underground reservoir. The cold water then flows beneath the ground for nearly 100 miles before pouring into the Snake River Canyon. Nearly 1 million gallons of crystal clear spring water spill into the river here every minute. With a constant temperature of 58 degrees, it's a perfect place to raise rainbow trout. Here at the Clear Springs Trout Farm, they're doing just that in a big way.
It's unique because of the water, and we have probably the biggest supply of water of any place in the United States for just rainbow trout. How many pounds do you have, Jim?
Nobody knows more about the business of raising trout than Ted Eastman.
1,000 pounds?
Ted started working here back in 1942, and at that time it was the first modern facility of any size in the United States. Today, it's the world's largest trout farm.
When I started, we raised about 200,000 pounds of fish a year, and now we're raising about 18 million. So it's been a big change.
People like Ted have pioneered a lot of changes over the years. Those innovations have made Idaho world famous for its rainbow trout production. In fact, the concepts of pellet food and concrete runways for raising fish were first developed right here in Idaho.
As we've progressed in our knowledge about how to raise the fish, that knowledge has been transferred to fish and game hatcheries so that they can produce a higher quality of fish that will survive better in the wild.
Randy McMillan is Director of Research and Development at Clear Springs. He is constantly monitoring the health of these fish.
This is the wet lab area where we've brought broodstock that are growing to larger and larger sizes. We also do fish culture research here and hold research fish for doing all the different studies that we do. These fish have been selectively bred for pretty close to 10 years now. We'll choose the fish that have grown the largest and use that for producing future generations of the rainbow trout.
As you can see, it's a high-tech operation, and it attracts many visitors. Those who come here are rewarded with a fisheye view of the underwater world of rainbow trout.
This is our visitor center viewing window, where we have a large variety of sizes of rainbow trout and some very large sturgeon in here.
We'd like to drop a number 16 fly up there in front of one of those big old devils.
Oh yeah, right straight back,
The big one is right
about 2 feet above the bottom. See his tail?
And what a fish tail from a 135-pound sturgeon. It was captured in the Snake River by the Idaho Department of Fish and Game. They brought it here so people could learn more about this remarkable fish. But sturgeon are nothing new to Clear Springs.
We used to have a 600-pound sturgeon, we called him Old Kanaka, that had been under aquaculture conditions for about, well, since 1928 or so. And that sturgeon was quite an attraction. Weighed 600 pounds, probably about 85 years old when he died. The sturgeon are a fairly unique kind of fish in being a very primitive fish. It's got a cartilaginous skeleton, a very primitive digestive system, and almost no scales. It's a very prehistoric kind of fish.
Another prehistoric-looking creature can now also call Idaho home: alligators.
They remind me of the raptors in Jurassic Park.
Just down the road from Clear Springs, Leo Ray is raising gators at his fish farm. It's all part of an experiment to see how they adapt to Idaho. And so far, it's working very well.
Well, these are about 2 months old, and they've more than doubled in size since we brought them out. Grown much faster than I really anticipated. And in a year's time, they'll be about 4 feet, year and a half, about 6 feet. I won't be handling him this way in a year and a half.
Alligators in Idaho wouldn't be possible without these huge geothermal hot springs. The springs bubble up water that is a constant 89 to 95 degrees. The source of this heat is found 6,000 feet deep in the Earth's crust and is connected to the geysers in Yellowstone. These hot springs create a paradise for tropical fish. Leo discovered that this was a great place to raise fish years ago. He was a teacher fresh out of college, and he loved to teach, but saw this as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and traded his class of students for schools of fish. Now he watches after catfish, trout, and even a curious-looking little fish native to the warm waters of Africa and Southeast Asia.
These are tilapia, and some of the tilapia are red, some of them are green. The color varies. The tilapia is a white meat and very mild flavor, very delicious. You cannot raise them in this part of the country unless you have geothermal water. If you're going to raise fish, you need to love the profession. It's a 7-day-a-week job. You have to feed these animals and take care of them. In agriculture, the closest thing to it would be running a dairy. That fish is about 15 months old. The blue catfish, it's the ideal eating size.
The Snake River Plain Aquifer is unique in the world for its millions of gallons of fresh, pure water spilling out every day. This water is truly the lifeblood of Idaho's trout industry.
This area here in the valley is a fish farmer's paradise. We raise catfish, we raise tilapia, rainbow trout, alligators, sturgeon, all of these different things, and it's just about like working in a zoo.
So the next time you're in a restaurant and you order trout or catfish, you'll know there's a very good chance it came from Idaho. We'll be right back with another fish story. Every year about this time, the migration of steelhead trout is underway. They travel 500 miles from the ocean to spawn in the rivers and streams of Idaho. And any fisherman will tell you, it is something to brag about if you catch one of these wild and elusive fish. So maybe that's why the Great Snake Lake Steelhead Roundup has become the biggest fishing derby in Idaho. We visited this year's event at the confluence of the Snake and Clearwater rivers to capture the humor and hardship of fishing for steelhead trout.
I got the derby fish, $1,100 fish 2 years ago.
Corky Flock knows the saying, the early bird gets the worm. Of course, he's hoping to catch a big steelhead trout. Filled with anticipation, Corky doesn't mind the crisp morning air. He wouldn't be anywhere else because it's opening day of the week-long Steelhead Derby near Lewiston.
I usually anchored out right in here for a while until daylight. And I want about 20 feet of water.
This morning, Corky will be sharing his favorite spot with a few other boats already on the water.
You guys signed up for the Derby, are you?
Oh, yeah. If Derby couldn't go by without me getting in it, all you got to do is bat your eye on that bobber's under, and once that bobber's under, it just clears that surface. You want to set your hook. Come on, big speckled trout with the freckles on your snout, tail as broad as a board. This is my favorite time of the day to fish right here.
A little good luck, patience, and warm clothes are what you need if you want to catch a steelhead trout. Right now, they're passing through by way of the Snake River under the bridges between Clarkston and Lewiston. They're at the height of their late fall migration, returning from the ocean to spawn after 1 to 3 years at sea. As they swim upriver, some will encounter anglers with a serious case of steelhead fever.
Oh my God.
Boy. Oh, nice.
Oh my God. Did you see it?
There we go, we got him.
Oh, thank God. Someone take this pole out of my hand.
It's a sport that all ages, everyone, men and women, boys and girls, children and grandparents can enjoy and participate together. We like to claim that we are Idaho's steelhead capital. We have a major fish hatchery just upriver at Orfino. And of course, that's where we have the migration going back to there. Of course, we have the wild stocks as well, and it's not legal to take wild stocks, and therefore with the hatchery run being as good as it is, at least this year, and the previous years, we're having the fishing derby for the hatchery steelhead.
Those huge steelhead trout are the single-minded pursuit of this boatload of derby fishermen.
Never get away now.
I'm running a wiggle wart, and that pole I think is a hot shot, and trying to put that lure right in his face. And till he's mad enough, he'll strike at it.
Good luck comes in many forms for the steelhead fishermen.
This is my official derby hat. I've lost a couple buttons. It's also known as my comb.
And luck goes hand in hand with patience. These anglers will brave the cold for an average of 12 to 24 hours before they catch a fish. And after all that, if it's a wild fish that wasn't raised in a hatchery, they have to turn it loose.
This one's got an adipose fin on it.
The first thing that generally anglers will look for, on a steelhead anyway, is whether or not that adipose fin exists or not. When the fin is there, it's a wild fish, and therefore they have to return it to the water.
I've never had one battle like this girl. She's got plenty of fight in her.
Looks like the fish are starting to bite.
How big was your fish?
19 pounds.
19 pounds? Hey, that's a great fish.
39 inches.
Well, good job. Nice fish. Our turn.
The guys are sure if they keep trying, their luck will change.
We're going to try a little slip bobber fishing with a jig and shrimp. I know this is a good spot because we just saw that guy with the 19-pounder caught it here. There you go, he's taking line. All right.
Sucker, it's a sucker. That's even worse. It's a sucker, it's a sucker.
This is your basic North American sucker. What do you think there? We should take him in and weigh him, you think?
Rick, Joe, and Steve have all caught their share of steelhead over the years, but today is not their day.
He's pretty.
Of the 700 other fishermen competing in this year's event, one lucky angler has landed a monster. He's anxious to get to the weigh-in site to register his prize catch.
29.6, Dan. Nice fish.
All right.
20 pounds, 9.6. This is the biggest one so far, and this is a really nice fish, actually. He's got a good shot at the derby. What was the length on it? 40 1/4. This is the biggest fish I ever caught. I think I'll have it mounted.
It's a money fish. It is the big fish at this point anyway. It's about as big as last year's winner, and it's right up there. It should be a $1,000 or $1,250 fish.
Whether he's in the money or not, the look on this fisherman's face says it all. It's the thrill of catching a fish like this that keeps these anglers coming back for more.
It's a passion for them. It seems like that's what they live and breathe for this time of year. And I'd like to think that the Derby is kind of a celebration of the steelhead and the natural resource that it is. It's a wonderful resource, and it's part of our heritage and one of our treasures.
I can remember my dad fishing for steelhead for years before he finally caught one. It is challenging. We'll be right back. With the holidays upon us, it's time to start thinking about Christmas gifts. It's always nice to find something the whole family can enjoy, perhaps something handmade. It is getting harder and harder to find those kinds of gifts, though. Fortunately, a man in Sandpoint has dedicated his talent to making dazzling Christmas creations out of hand-blown glass.
Gradually pull it apart. And we have to contour the head.
Harold Smith has been fascinated by the art of glass blowing for over 25 years. Limited only by his own imagination, he never tires of creating elegant glass figures. And he enjoys sharing the charm of this old world art with curious visitors.
They had colored water in them, remember?
So to do that, we have to put a hole right on the top of the body of the swan. And to do that, we heat up the section of the glass, and while it's nice and hot, we blow through it, and it pops a hole in it pretty quick. And it happens real quick, so you got to keep an eye on it. Just like that. One other thing are glass bells. I like to make these. I just love it. Okay, we're going to gradually pull that out to the shape of a bell. So you can see it start to take shape. We can literally cut the glass with the flame. Now, it took me a long time to learn this. I enjoy taking just a piece of glass, putting it in the flame, and just seeing it turn the color that you have to work it with. And seeing how precise you can be with it. And preciseness is far different than perfection. You can't be perfect, but you can be a little precise in this. And you can virtually make anything you want out of glass. Now this is ready for decorating. After it's done, then we put gold on it.
With the help of an assistant, another creation gradually takes shape in the workshop. It's one of Harold's original designs and his favorite piece.
He's going to use just regular needle nose pliers and shape the tail. The next step, he's going to apply the wings. Now he's going to put the beak on the bird. Then it starts to take shape.
Before long, you can recognize the graceful shape of a hummingbird.
Even though they all look alike, on close examination, they're all very different because, of course, they are handmade. That adds to the uniqueness of the product.
This time of year, Harold and his workers are getting ready for the holiday season. And what would Christmas be like without an angel on your tree? Like Santa's little helpers, everyone is busy with the finishing touches on the delicate figures. The angel, hummingbird, and other beautiful ornaments are only part of what you'll find here in the incredible Christmas store.
These are the new angels that we just started doing just a couple months ago. A lot of people will come here to watch the glass blowing, and they're surprised to find the Christmas store here.
This is one of the few places where it looks and feels like Christmas all year long. When you walk in the door, you'll find wall-to-wall decorations. You could spend all day in here and not see everything.
It's almost like when adults walk through the door, they turn into children. And that is the fun part about this store, is it because it is so fun. Everybody that comes in here is happy.
Feel like a kid. I got goosebumps when we came in here. And I bought a church that was just like my little church in the hometown that I came from. So brings back a lot of memories.
I like the swan that he made. That was really pretty.
It's so hard to make, and for them to make it so fast, it's quite intriguing. I like that.
We're going to do a tree on angels, so that will just set off the tree really well.
In times past, many Christmas ornaments were made out of glass. They add a special touch to the holiday season. Today, people like Harold Smith are helping keep that sparkling tradition alive.
It makes me feel real good knowing that maybe every Christmas they take out that special ornament and remember where they got it. It is a lot of fun for me and the people that do come in.
They are beautiful. And if you'd like more information on any of the stories we've brought you today, stay tuned. We have a special phone number coming up for you next. Welcome back to Exploring Idaho. Now here's how you can get more information on the stories you've seen on today's show. Call 1-800-443-2461 and ask for the field notes for show number 119. The first winter snow is our photographer Bill Crum's favorite time of year. He says it accentuates the myriad of textures found in nature. I think you'll see what he means as his camera gives us a close-up look at what we often see as only a blanket of white. Thank you for joining us. We hope you'll be with us again as we continue exploring Idaho.
Looking for a unique VHS cassette that really shows off our great state? You're in luck. Exploring Idaho selected some of their favorite stories and put together a video tour of Idaho that has a little something for everyone. This special 1-hour VHS cassette can be purchased for $14.95 at your local Albertsons store, or call toll-free 1-800-443-2461 for the best of Exploring Idaho.